don't understand it. This is a vastly superior Arsenal team. Come off the back of a really poor performance at the weekend. They know what's coming at the weekend. Even a bit of pride kicks in. I wouldn't be pointing the finger at the manager. That group of players on the pitch just pass the ball quicker, run harder out of possession of football, make more tackles, increase the tempo, just play at a better tempo, get the crowd involved in the game. Come off at the end of the game and feel, yeah, I played a part in a really good team performance then. Roll on the next game.
Neil, would you be as down on the performance as that?
I thought it was really disappointing, I have to say. For a Champions League match at that level, there was a real lack of intensity, real lack of quality, real lack of speed in the game. As Kenny said, too many touches, too many backward passes. And they're fortunate in the end. Like, overall, they deserved to win it, one. But, you know, at 1-0, Shaktar, who were pretty poor, let's get it right, pretty toothless, they're always in the game, could have nicked the draw. And then, psychologically, going into the game on Sunday, that would have been really damaging. But Liverpool, the game will take care of itself. The atmosphere will be completely different. You know, Arteta will have a plan, you know, maybe to soak up a bit of pressure, hit them on the counter-attack. Depend on who's got available after Calafiori going off as well.
Yeah.
But the Liverpool game will take care of itself. They know it's a must-not-lose game.
Is the result nearly more important than the performance tonight, though? The fact that they've got the 3 points.
Yeah. I mean, that's 7 points now. They can park that for the next couple of games. They only need maybe 3 or 4 more points to guarantee a playoff place. 3 clean sheets in the competition as well. It's nothing to be sniffed at, but that was a very limp, tepid performance tonight.
Limp, tepid, rotten. The lads don't seem too impressed, Shay.
We're trying to build it up here, entertainment on Premier Sports. No, they're right. You can't. I'm going to say something rude there. You can't polish it. You know what?
Yeah.
It was a poor game, poor performance. But again, especially as the lad said, after the defeat to Bournemouth at the weekend, this was the perfect opposition. I felt at home. You know, in front of your own fans, they were even flat. The stadium was flat. The whole place was flat. Maybe after the Bournemouth game, but it was an opportunity tonight to get a real performance and bounce on the weekend. Liverpool's next. Let's go. You know, we scored 3 or 4 against Shakhtar. Our confidence is back. We're back in the train tomorrow. Everyone's buzzing. But I think everyone's going back to train tomorrow wondering what's going to happen at the weekend.
Do you give them any pass for the injuries? Saka was obviously out. Odegaard's still out. They had Calafiori going off injured. Ben White went off at half-time, possibly because he was on a yellow.
He went off at half-time because the performance wasn't good enough. He was away with the fairies there first half, so below par, picked up a yellow card. It almost felt as if you had to take him off the pitch. So his individual performance, his approach to the game, his mentality wasn't good enough, Ben White. So that's a worry in itself. And just collective, as a player on the pitch, the game, the tempo of it kind of drops off. It gets too slow. You're making too many sideways passes. There's enough experience there on the team to say, come on, lads, we're better than this. Move the ball quicker. Play a forward pass. Let's have a run in behind. Let's increase the tempo. Let's energise the game. You have to have those people.
That's on the players. You've said that a couple of times.
I think that. It's too easy to point the finger at Arteta in that respect. I think the players themselves. I want a player with this Liverpool game on the horizon. I want that sense going home tonight after that game. Knowing, I really played well tonight. Happy with the performance. Collectively, the team really functioned. That was far better than the weekend, and I'm in the right kind of mindset for the game. The big challenge which is coming at the weekend. They haven't done that. It's been exactly the opposite.
Even the penalty sums them up tonight. Complacent, you know, lack of real sort of urge. But oomph. The team lacked oomph tonight, and I don't know if I agree with Shea. You can't go through the motions in any game against any opposition, particularly at the Champions League level. And I just thought it was a very disappointing performance. And I agree totally with Kenny. Somebody should have got a grip of the team and said, "Come on, this isn't good enough. We need to step it up."
To be fair to Kenny, you know, I don't like being fair to Kenny, but you did call.
All of us do.
I know, but you called the Calafiori one before the game. You felt he shouldn't even be out there.
I blame Kenny for that because he spoke about it so much before the game.
You willed it into existence.
He jinxed him.
Yeah, but just think the situation going into the game. Saliba's not available at the weekend. You know he's going to be probably first choice centre half. Timber's not a guarantee to start either. So put all those factors together. Suddenly the spotlight's on Calafiori. He becomes huge. He's a huge component in that game at the weekend in terms of getting a result against Liverpool. So protect him. This is Shakhtar Donetsk, not semi-final of the Champions League. You feel as if I've got to get my best team onto the pitch. He's got Kiwior there, not an outstanding centre half, but again, in terms of the quality of opposition, could easily have put him in. He took a gamble, took a big risk putting him in tonight, in my opinion, which he didn't have to take, and it's backfired.
Got a fair bit to talk about. It was a much less comfortable night than Arsenal might have imagined, but they did get the win in the end thanks to Martinelli. Well, it won't go down as a goal for him. It's an own goal for the goalkeeper. It was a little bit unfortunate on that one. Made a couple of saves later on. The Arsenal fans reasonably happy. We'll talk about this and we'll show you all the goals from around Europe later on this evening. Arsenal needed a result tonight in our featured game, and they got one despite the best efforts of Shaktar, who we talked about there difficult journey over here. Nothing's easy for these guys at the moment. And to be honest, looking at those fans, you wouldn't begrudge them a point, which would have been quite valuable to them. They didn't quite get it in the end, despite a few late chances. I mean, Shakhtar, if they had gotten one, Shay, you'd have said fair enough if they were walking away with 1-1. I know they weren't look, they're not at Arsenal's level, but they had a few goals at it.
No, but they stuck at it. They stuck at it defensively, and Arsenal probably first half had a decent first half, poor second half, but they stuck at it, stayed in the game, and we all, I know it's a cliche, 1-0, you've always got a chance, and by the 2 late chances, that was what they were looking for. We kind of said in studio they would get a chance. Could they take the chance? I mean, David Raya was coming to shot there as well. It's a brilliant save from him because it's the only thing he's had to do the whole game. So again, I think as Rob mentioned, the top goalkeeper's got to stay concentrated for the full game, and he showed his quality again tonight.
The only goal of the game came in the first half. It was a slow burn around Europe. It went nearly half an hour without any goals going on. This is the first one of the evening.
Yeah, decent bit of quality. Calafiori initially in that central midfield area. Eventually the balls wore quickly. This is better. 2 passes and Arsenal are up at the edge of the penalty box. Really good play from Martinelli, helped by that overlapping run from Calafiori that we spoke about. It really is important because it puts the Shakhtar right back in 2 minds. Does he stay with Martinelli? Does he track the run of Calafiori? A little bit of indecision, understandably. No cover on the inside. It's a decent little shot from Martinelli. It's a slight deflection as well on the way. A little bit of sympathy for the goalkeeper.
Martinelli is a player who has a lot of talent and delivers on okay. Do you get the sense he's one of them you want to see a bit more of this from to help Saka out in particular?
Yeah, I think he needs to bring more goals to his game. You know, he's quick, powerful runner, good on the counter-attack. He's got that speed, but I don't think he's a great finisher, whereas Saka is far more clean with his finishing. But again, that may give him a little shot of confidence.
Yeah, well, we'll find out now how confident he is because he's standing by.
Gabriel, a tough night, but it's a win.
Yeah, of course. That's the most important thing. We knew how tough they are, and we came here to win the game, and we did it. Of course, we wanted to score more, but yeah, we won the game, and that's the most important thing.
Did the penalty miss in a way sum up the night?
Yeah, I mean, he could have scored the penalty, but we are behind him, supporting Leo. We know his quality. We fully trust him, and yeah, we go again, and I'm sure he's gonna play well in the next game. So yeah, it was a good win.
Well, listen, you were involved in the decisive moment, not your goal, but
my
a key
goal.
moment.
Yeah, it was my goal.
That's
my
the
goal.
bad news.
Yeah,
No,
I know.
it's a winner. That's the good news.
Yeah, it doesn't matter if it was my goal or own goal. The most important thing is the win, as I said. So we are really happy.
What went missing, do you think, in terms of just the play, especially in the second half?
It's tricky, you know. We've lost some players, but we know our qualities. We know that it's tough to play in the Champions League, and yeah, we didn't have a good result in the last game in the Premier League, and we came here to win the game. So yeah, we did it. So we're happy.
And has it been underlined tonight? You have one of the best goalkeepers in the world.
Yeah, of course. We are.
There he is again.
We are lucky to have him here, and yeah, just thank you, David, for that save, and yeah, really happy with him as well.
Well, listen, it's a win. 2 wins, 1 draw in the Champions League so far. You are as well the player of the match.
Cheers, thank you.
Well done, Gabriel.
Gabriel Martinelli doing his best to claim the goal there, Shay. That one's always going to go to the goalkeeper, unfortunately. Have you ever conceded any of those off the post back off?
I have, yeah.
27.
I actually saved,
Save one.
I saved a penalty actually at Everton.
Yeah.
Onto the post, hit me in the back of my massive head, as you would call it, Kenny.
Oh, no.
I went into the net, and the newspaper the next day was
a big target area.
Shea given own goal, hands 3 points to Everton. Thanks, guys.
Factually correct, I suppose, you know. Was he deserved player of the match? I know slim pickings.
Oh, yeah, I think it probably was slim pickings. I don't think there was any standout candidate, really. Obviously, he was heavily involved in the goal, probably Martinelli, and that's why they give him the trophy.
Gabriel Clark was asking about the penalty miss and whether that maybe summed up the night as a whole for Arsenal. But first of all, the decision to give the penalty you weren't sure about now?
Yeah, it's harsh, but when you see it slowed down, you know, the defender's arm is in an unnatural position and it does stop the cross. But if you look at the reaction of all the players here, one's got his hand up, really. The players in the vicinity, not really, but we see it from that angle. I think the referee has to give it.
You're not sure, Kenny?
No, it's not a penalty for me because is the arm in a natural position. And when you're defended and both your feet come off the ground, your arms have to come away from your body to kind of balance yourself.
Yeah, but what the referee's looking at is the cross is coming in, the arm's out, it hits the arm, it blocks the trajectory of the ball.
Yeah, but it's pretty clear. Is his arm in a natural position in terms of where his body? I think it is because his legs are up in the air.
And that's an interpretation, isn't it? That's the referee's interpretation of it. I understand why he's given it.
I don't think it's a penalty. I think it's a ridiculous decision. I think it's a natural position. I understand what Lenny says, especially in the Champions League, they're going to give it, but at the same time, it should go back to the old school.
It's got to be the same rules. You're saying it has to give in the Champions. It was the same.
But that's
domestic
what I'm saying.
league.
Yeah, but it doesn't.
Champions League.
I don't think that's given. I don't think that's given in the Premier League.
Yeah.
As you rightly said, not one player really appealed for a penalty, and even the supporters are going, "Why is the play stopped?"
I'm with Neil on this one. I know you guys don't care what I think, but it's just
2v2.
I think it's a penalty.
By the way,
You said it.
we haven't even talked about the penalty. It was awful.
Yeah,
so
awful contact.
What
Shea
happened there?
mentioned about. I'm not a lover of short run-ups. I always think it gives the goalkeeper more of a chance, believe it or not.
Yeah, it does.
And a couple of steps, and the contact's poor, and the keeper makes a decent save.
He's had a bad week. I mean, he's played.
Hope he's not watching here, can he?
But
He's got
played
Liverpool
that-
at the weekend.
He's played that pass the weekend that got Saliba sent off. Absolutely horrendous.
There it is again, the miss.
Yeah, we know about in terms of Manchester
awful
City what happened there. And this, you can see what he's trying to do. He's trying to put it central, isn't it? Doesn't matter if the keeper commits him, but you got to get a bit of height.
He's got to go.
No, but he's just got
high.
height. Anything like 3 or 4 foot halfway
go
up the goal, we're saying, really smart penalty. But the execution has to be right.
Do those short run-ups always make it easier for the goalkeeper?
Well, it's not
I'm thinking
always
Jorginho
easier,
was
but
obviously in the Arsenal
again,
squad, and
you can't get as much
gets
power.
away with it. Yeah.
If you come up there with a bit more pace, when you see different strikers do the hop, skip, and the jump up there as well, I just think he gives more opportunity for the keeper. It's a slow, I won't say arrogant, but feels a bit arrogant towards the run-up, and the keeper makes a good save.
Mikel Arteta will not be happy with that moment, but he has the 3-point series.
Mikel, you wanted a reaction after the defeat at Bournemouth tonight. What did you make of it?
Yeah, well, very pleased with the results. Obviously, winning Champions League is always difficult and important. I think there were 2 very different halves, especially the first half. We were very dominant, should have scored another 2 or 3 goals. We didn't. This is Champions League. And then the second half, I felt a bit of fatigue for 65 minutes play with 10 men. 2.5 days ago is a big task, and we liked a little bit of clarity, a bit more purpose with the ball, and we left the game a bit more open, But we dig in, we got the results, so happy days.
Did the penalty miss sum up that sloppiness you're talking about in a way?
Probably. I don't know if it was related to fatigue as well, what we've been through, but it's true. And then credit to Shaktar as well. They're a good team, and in the condition that they play in, they want to play, they are brave, they are good players. When you give them time on the ball and you lose the ball in the wrong areas, you're gonna suffer.
Did Kai Havertz want that penalty at all? Because obviously he was on the brink of some history tonight.
I don't know. I don't know the conversation because he's one of the takers. Leo decided to take it. Okay, he missed it. That's it, unfortunately.
Gabriel Martinelli, player of the match, would you agree?
I think he's been really good. He looked really sharp again tonight. He had a little niggle with the national team. He could notice that against Bournemouth. You could see that he was fresh as well today regarding the other players.
Is it a sign of a truly great goalkeeper that they have a pretty quiet night and then they come up with something special?
Sorry?
Is it the sign of a truly great goalkeeper? They have a quiet night and then they come up with something special.
Yeah, well, that's what we have to do. We haven't conceded much, but on those moments you need him.
How good is he right now, David Raya?
Very good. I think he's in a great moment, really confident, really connected with the team, and he's in great shape.
Just a final point. Bukayo Saka, will he be okay, do you think, for Liverpool? And how's Ricardo Calafiori?
I don't know. So he wasn't able to train yet, so that's unlikely. And Ricky, I don't know, he felt something. He could not come in, continue playing, so a bit of a worry.
Thanks, Mikel.
Thank you. Take care.
There's a few things to pick up on there. Just a bit of team news at the end there. That's worrying for Liverpool, for the Liverpool game on Sunday.
Certainly for Saka's point of view, he's not training yet. It might be a bit of mind games going on. You don't want to give too much away. The Calafiori one, he may not know genuinely what the extent of the damage is, and we'll probably won't know that until tomorrow.
The one about Havertz not taking the penalty, he would have been scoring 8 goals at home 8 times in a row, which would have matched in the record we talked about earlier on. Thierry Henry, Jimmy Brain still has his joint record there, and
Kenny's
Doug Lishman, exactly. So you're surprised that Havertz also he might have taken a better penalty.
Yeah, possibly. Did he say that
he was one of the takers, is what he said.
Okay, yeah, strange one. They didn't take it, especially with that record on the thing. But the biggest thing coming out is even deep Saka. I mean, Saka would have done down. Saka, Odegaard, Saliba, Calafiori. Is a lot of big players missing for them at the weekend.
I think he has to play. I'll be amazed if Saka doesn't play, even if he's only 70-80% fit. I think he's that important to them in terms of individual quality and even leadership at his young age.
Fully fit for it, then you're going to surely damage him.
You never, during the course of the season, you're never fully fit. You're carrying knocks. If it's a strain, if it's a knock and he's about 80%, you have to play him for me. Have to play him. He's that important to the team. He's an absolute talisman.
It's big news, obviously. We've already spoke about it. Saliba missing with his suspension, he would have probably played centre half, and that looked a bad injury. Actually, I don't know how serious it is. He's not said that tonight.
He looks worried though, doesn't he?
But the way
he wasn't able to say
his
that he'd be
knees
okay.
buckled underneath him there, that can be pretty bad.
The fact he came off, came back on, and within a couple of minutes went down again. Suggestion there's some small damage to the knee. That's huge.
We'll have a look at that in a moment. But what about the other point he made there about fatigue? He talked about that being a reason that they didn't play well in the second half.
Honestly, Shakhtar have travelled playing trains and automobiles to get here.
13-hour drive.
If anyone was going to talk about fatigue, it would be them. Arsenal are full of multi-million-pound superstars. Bottom line, it's a cover. It's manager talk for we didn't play very well, so we need an excuse.
His assessment of the game, played really well first half, lots of chances, should have scored more goals. I mean, bang average at best first half, and the second half was horrific. In all honesty, it really was that bad. Take the point, a bit of positive spin. We know what's coming down the road in terms of the Liverpool game, but you can't shut your eyes to what we all witnessed this evening.
Why don't we have a look and open our eyes down to the Shakhtar chances that they had mostly in the second half, Shay?
Yeah, I mean this is Shakhtar coming into the game. They'd nothing to lose, as I say. He couldn't play. If he doesn't slip him in there, when you see the right-sided player coming through there, it's an easy pass. It's a 4 or 5 yard pass, and he's got a shot through and goal. But again, they had chances. I mean, that's a relatively easy save for Raya. But this is the shot. Takes a little bit of a deflection. It's Pedrinho This is a brilliant save. This is a really good angle from behind the goal here now. This is a top save. Do you know why? Because it nicks off his own player, and then also it moves in the air all over the place. So again, Rob mentioned, that's the sign of a top goalkeeper, concentration levels. And this is in the last kick of the game. And Gomez, I don't know what he's thinking here, but it's like he's headed with a sponge or something. Honest to God, I don't know how. He just took his eye off it, or thought maybe there's a challenge coming in,
he's waiting on the contact
or something. But in the last minute of the game, you can see the manager's reaction. It's just frustration, because that's a big chance there.
That Raya save was interesting. Sort of hit his forearm. Is that a bit unusual?
I think sometimes when the ball's hit from distance, it moves a lot more. It also nicked off his own player, but again, sometimes it can move past your hand, and he still had the concentration. He saved it with his forearm. It was a great save.
Yeah. It's a good save.
I'll leave it out to you. What do you know?
Ricardo Calafiore is the other news out of that interview. Well, it was obvious that we were watching it, Kenny. I'm going to give you your dues here because you felt that he shouldn't have been started. So the backdrop to this, obviously, is they have a centre-back crisis, a defensive crisis now at the weekend, and it's a lot worse after this news today.
Yeah, I mean, this is kind of sloppiness was shown here, Arsenal second half. They allowed Shakhtar into the game second half. Quality of passing wasn't good enough. He's actually trying to force things here a little bit, Calafiore, and give him a bit of credit. But he gets bopped, gets knocked off balance, plants his foot. You can see his right foot here as it goes down. His left foot goes away from him. That's what opens the right knee up. Look at his face. Look at the reaction. You can sense he's felt something in his knee there. Maybe a sharp pain. That could be problems.
I mean, it's not like he's being carried off. He's able to walk off. Does that make any difference? It could still be a pretty bad knee
I've seen
injury.
players with cruciate. We've all seen players with cruciate done
walk off
worse.
the pitch.
Walk off and do a running straight line, 20 on back, straight back on the pitch.
You
within
put
2
the hand
minutes.
up straight away. You knows that there's something that's maybe rocked.
When you turn or something on the pitch, you try and get back into the game again. You move and you think, there's something really wrong. That's
even
a real
slight twist and turn.
Seeing
can do
them
damage,
pictures again is a real worry for me.
Straight away, what was he on 30-40 seconds? And
back off again.
Back
He went
off
down,
again.
yeah.
So,
Good sign.
what are they going to do defensively? They've got Timber, who may or may not be back. He possibly will be. Apparently, he's close for tonight. Tomiyasu came back from his knee injury, had a setback there. So there's a couple of options gone. Obviously, he's now gone. They've got the suspension to Saliba. This is a big problem against Liverpool.
Yeah, Saliba's out. If Calafiore is out, for me, Timber has to play at centre half. He's actually played there in Holland prior to coming to Arsenal. Now, he's not the biggest in stature, but he's a good defender. We've seen that already playing in a full-back position for Arsenal, yeah. So he's got Gabriel alongside him, who's a decent size. So I think potentially that can work. But then you're looking at the full-back positions. Ben White at the moment, I wouldn't trust him in terms of coming into a full-back position. Kiwar, he's been putting on and taking off a couple of times of his Arsenal career by Arteta.
I think Ben White will start, Kenny.
I think he has to.
Yeah, he has
Zinchenko's
to.
an option at left
I think
back as well.
Zinchenko's back now,
yeah. But he didn't use him tonight.
Forget about Zinchenko, a left back against Liverpool.
He didn't use him
Mo
tonight,
Salah,
though.
the right-hand side.
He brought the kid on. Yeah. He brought the... what was his name? Lewis Skelly instead of Zinchenko. Didn't get any minutes tonight at all, which
and
is pretty strange.
Liverpool's strengths, the biggest strengths in those wide areas. Now, Salah, Gapco, Luis Diaz.
You need big name players. You need people who've been there before. Zinchenko's been there before, perhaps. He might look at the experience because
he's not good enough. Shade, that's why he's not playing.
Well, why did Arteta bring him in then? Why has he brought him in then?
He's brought him in, but he hasn't kept him in because he's had a look at him up close, and he's not very good.
Looking him up close at Man
City. He's not a very good footballer.
That's why he's brought him in.
Yeah, it's a poor error of judgment then bringing him in. Because he can't deal with Mo Salah
only
over
asking.
90 minutes. Can he? Can he deal with Mo Salah?
Well, I think if he's brought in for that position, then
Does Kieran Tierney come in, or is he injured?
he's injured as well. Yeah.
Injured as well, unfortunately.
Is he?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'd have him all
It's a
back
big,
the week.
I mean, we're just talking
Liverpool
about,
fans, if any Liverpool fans are watching this match tonight,
we're
they
talking
are
about this now. We're
just...
scrambling to get a
Yeah.
back four together for the weekend. One of the biggest games of the season. Liverpool will be watching the game, rubbing their hands together. It's a big
Well,
opportunity.
this is the thing,
for
there are
them.
no brilliant... I was just on Ben White, so he went off at half-time. Kenny reckons he wasn't playing well anyway, but I'm sure he wasn't hooked just for not playing particularly well. He had the yellow
It was
card.
only a yellow card.
Might
He
have
probably
been part
didn't
of
want another. You know, he was sloppy tonight. He was sloppy in his defending.
He has those moments,
He was
doesn't he?
sloppy.
He has those
Yeah,
games.
sloppy on the ball. Look, it's symptomatic of Arsenal's performance tonight. You know, not just Ben, but overall it was, you know, lacking personality, lacking any heat. I think he'll start. Like I said, the Liverpool game is a totally different game. It's a top league game. The crowd will be up for it. And the mindset of the players will be.
I get that the
full on.
mindset will be like, they'll be on it and all that kind of stuff, but just personnel wise, are they in so much bother now that you'd have to make Liverpool favourites actually go and win that match?
Probably, yeah. I mean, the form that Liverpool are in, the confidence that Liverpool have got as well. Yeah, I mean, it's a big game it's a must-not-lose game for Arsenal, and that puts extra pressure on them as well.
What do you reckon?
Yeah, so early in the season it is. It's absolutely huge. I mean, 7 points. Arsenal could go clear. Manchester City would expect to win as well. 6 points difference there. That's big. I know it's early in the season, like, but no trophies are given out in October. But that's absolutely massive for me.
What about the other end of the pitch, Shay? We saw Jesus in the team tonight. On the right-hand side, he had flashes maybe in the first half, but again,
Yeah.
I don't know if he fell victim. And if Saka's not available, is Jesus the man? Is he going to cause Liverpool enough trouble?
Well,
from there?
if Saka's not available, it's him or Sterling who come off the bench tonight as well, and still lots to prove in an Arsenal top. You know, Arteta knows him from City days as well, of course, and has he done enough in an Arsenal shirt? You would say no. There's lots of questions over his head. I mean, Jesus, we've seen in the half-time the chances he has. He's not clinical enough for me in front of goal.
But would you still go for him above Sterling at the moment?
Against Liverpool, probably, yeah.
Why against Liverpool?
I just think he works both ways. I think he works back as well. I think that's part of the job on Sunday when you're playing against Liverpool. He'll have to do, you know, offensive work and defensive work as much as anything.
You talk about Zinchenko, who worked with him at Manchester City. Yes, he's worked with Sterling, but Raheem Sterling is a totally different player to the Raheem Sterling at Manchester City 5 years ago when he was at his peak. Had those kind of, he had that kind of leg speed, turbocharged, 1v1 could beat any defender. That's gone. That kind of speed is gone now to his game. And for me, he was never the most technically gifted of players. So it's a real struggle for him now, for me personally. No surprise he hasn't been able to break into that Chelsea team. I don't know why he's made the jump over to Arsenal, because it's going to be the same situation. Everybody's fit. He doesn't play there either.
Well, he's made the jump because he was out of the squad at Chelsea. I totally understand it. He wants to play. He's going to have to
play at Arsenal?
I don't know. He's going to have to dig in, Kenny. I totally know where you're coming from, but you got to put yourself in Raheem's position. You say he's 29. Yeah, he is 29. Arteta knows him very, very well. It'll be, look, come, you'll get some game time, and then it's up to you. You're going to be.
I don't know
more of
Raheem
a squad
Sterling very
member.
well, Neil, but I don't know Raheem Sterling very well, but I know
Neither
enough
do
from over the last year
I'm
to know
thinking
that
of
he's
him
not
as
the
a-
player he was.
As a player, oh no, I totally agree
Yeah.
with you. But as a personality, and as a player myself, you know, when you're left out of a squad, one, it's embarrassing. Two, you want to get out of there as quickly as possible. Now he's got an opportunity at Arsenal. Maybe he needs a bit more match time to get up to speed. But I don't think he can play on the right anymore. I think he's, you know, he hasn't got that blistering pace. He needs to play on the left.
Okay, not that much good news from an Arsenal point of view tonight then, except for the fact they won the match. They have 3 points. That's 7 on the board for them now, and they're in a very reasonable position. As you can see there, obviously there's a full round of fixtures tomorrow night as well, so we'll wait and see. But they're 4th at the moment as we speak. Aston Villa have roared to the top there, as Shay Given predicted they would before the whole tournament started. You're almost there, Shay. We'll take a little look at their goals after the break, and there was an absolute thrilling game in Madrid, a repeat of last year's Champions League final. All the goals coming right up.